Hey there, card fighters. It's me, Royal Paladin 813. I was on Facebook last night, and I was on one of the groups that I'm with, and there was a post on from a guy saying that somebody that he knows is being basically asked by his father to give up Vanguard because, for the most part, it's a waste of time and it won't be done by successful people or something along that lines, or at least that was my take from it. And in the post, it asks specifically that people, make videos explaining why they play and how it's benefited their life, and at the same time, what they do. So that's basically what this video is going to be. I promise you I'll try to stay as far away from like Taya Gardner talking about how friendship is wonderful and all of that stuff as much as I can. I grew up in Miami, Florida, which means huge shout out to anyone who's 305. 786, you ain't the original, so therefore you don't really matter to me. I went through Miami for elementary and middle school. I grew up there. I went to Ludlam Elementary, South Miami Elementary, and South Miami Middle School. Dade City all the way. Ended up going into the gifted program, and while I was in the gifted program in middle school, I was a fat white guy with glasses in a school that was mostly Hispanic. I don't speak Spanish. So, yeah, I was an outcast right from the start. Dorky fat white guy. Go figure. So, me and the other dorky guys just started hanging out, and we had a common interest, because why not play card games? It's easy. We were more mathletes than athletes, and that's still probably true to this day. But, if not for them, I wouldn't be playing card games. And it was a way for us to hang out because it was a common interest. We all had the ability to get the same stuff. Either you used eBay, or you had somebody you knew use eBay, or you buy them from a shop, or you have somebody else buy them from a shop and you get it from them. That's the way it works. So we all basically were on even soil. It's just all a matter of what we personally do and who actually is the better strategist, which is a very important part to any card game. No matter how simple it may seem, there's always a level of strategy involved. But I ended up moving. High school, went to Tampa, and my parents threw me in a private Baptist prep school, because the way my mother was raised is it looks better on a college application if you went to a private school. My freshman class was 13 kids. I shit you not. My graduating class was 6 kids. So, yeah. A dorky, fat, white guy from Miami in a classroom that small with very few people to hang out with and very few people to talk to. I didn't get along with pretty much anyone, but at least I had card games. If not for them, I would not have the friends that I have today, because I never hung out with my classmates. We didn't have the same interests. Went to the card shops, played card games, hung out with people, met new friends. Didn't need friends from school. I had actual people that I would deal with regularly that I actually enjoyed the company of. And that was middle school. That was high school, sorry. Went to my local community college for a couple of years. I was majoring in psychiatry and minoring in mathematics. And I ended up on my way to class one day, walking past the student lounge. Saw a couple of people sitting down, breaking down their deck, separating it, looking at it, all of that stuff, seeing how they wanted to modify it. And next day I brought my Yu-Gi-Oh deck with me to HCC, and I started playing against them. Made more friends, made more connections, knew more people, and it was people that I could actually enjoy hanging out with. And that's basically how everything was for me in the card game world, because I would not have any of my friends that I have today if not for card games. I hang out with I don't even hang out with, I have like one person on Facebook that was a friend of mine since high school, and I don't even talk to her. She's just there basically as, the classroom buddy, because everyone has those friends that don't really do anything or say anything to help, that don't even care. It's oh, hi, how are you, how's your life? Yeah, no one cares. But the people that I actually associate with are because of card games. I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore because it doesn't really take that much strategy. I know that they've changed the rules and it's no longer referred to as a die roll format, But if you have the disadvantage and you're able to go Quasar turn 1 consistently, you take that disadvantage to auto win. So, yeah, I wouldn't really say that's a fair game either. But Vanguard, at least with that game, you have 3-4 turns. So you'll always be able to, have some time to come up with something. And it's a fun game, hence the name game. I mean, sure, yeah, you can be one of those guys that sits around and watches the, what's referred to as the card game stock market all day and try to make your investments and sell at the right times and buy at the right times. Oh, this card dropped, but here's the support coming out, so I should pick it up. But then you're not having fun. You're trying to turn that into a job. Where if you want a job that actually pays, you go out and you work a job that actually pays. When it comes to the actual career aspect of my life and success of my life, I wanted to make sure before I talked about this that I looked up the actual dictionary definition. And according to Webster's online definition, success is referred to as the attainment of wealth, position, honor, or the like. Well, I work because I choose to work. I count myself to be lucky. I own a corporation. I buy real estate. And through that corporation, because I had a very awesome person when it came to writing up the documents and things like that for leases and rental properties, I don't actually have to worry about my tenants. They pretty much take care of themselves. So I don't have to do anything with that, which means I can sit around, relax, and enjoy my life, which is great because I love to travel. I travel about every other summer to some country. There's only 2 continents that have humans living on them that I haven't been to, and that's South America and Australia. And one day I wouldn't mind going and visiting some Kiwis in New Zealand, because Kiwis are awesome. Which is not actually a derogatory term. It's what people from New Zealand like to call themselves, or at least it's the ones that I've met like to call themselves. It's also their national bird. So, that's awesome. I would love to go to New Zealand and hang out with some people there. From the financial aspect, I do look at myself as being successful. So that's one of those 3 major mandated criteria done. Position. I own a corporation for real estate investments. You can't get much more successful in the business world or have a higher position than being your own boss. Like I said, I work, but that's because this is a fun job. I refer to this job as my weekend drinking money, and I choose not to drink in America. So it's a lot easier for me to save up more money and travel internationally. And the 3rd criteria of honor. I grew up, or at least I should say I grew up listening to my mother talking about her family history and all of that stuff, and how much her last name meant at the time. She was a McHale. So McHale's Irish. Everyone knows the Irish have such pride in their home country and things like that. It's true, we do. And it's one of those things at the same time, if you have pride in your country, you should have pride in yourself. I love the fact that when I go traveling and I'm like stopping off in Orlando or something like that, and I go to a card shop and I just say my name, and a couple of the people there have heard of me just through word of mouth. That is awesome to me. And I don't drop my name and I'm talking about Royal Paladin, I'm talking about my actual name. I have everyone call me by my last name because in my group of friends alone, there's like 6 Davids. So how is it easier to determine us all than just use our last names? Which means none of us could get a job at Disney World, because apparently one of the requirements is no last names. But that's a different topic. So when it comes to honor, I love the fact that people can trust me even if they don't know me. I love the fact that when I'm in a shop, if there's somebody new in the shop, they'll walk up to me and they'll be like, yeah, are you so-and-so? Yeah, how can I help you? So-and-so over there said that if I need any help, I could always come to you and ask you for help. That right there speaks volumes. And the fact that that's known more in the Vanguard community than any other community. I mean, hi, it's before a tournament, and so-and-so over there, Joe Schmo in the corner, said I could come to you, and you would help me build a deck to beat your ass. How awesome is that? Just in general, I mean, there's nothing more humbling than knowing that other people would turn to you for advice, so that way they could use your advice to beat your ass. And they listen because they know that you're not going to lie to them. And that means your name is worth something. And honor itself is all about, maintaining the dignity and respect through your name. The samurai knew honor. Honor was their code. If you disrespected them, they would be pissed. But at the same time, they were supposed to hold themselves in a way that you respected them as soon as they said who they were. It's a two-way road. If I become an asshole tomorrow, yeah, I can make probably a bit of money off of it, but at the same time, then nobody would listen to me, and my name means nothing. I don't want my name to mean nothing. That's just who I am. And that's one thing that people respect about me, and that's one thing I respect about other people. It's, you operate the way you want to operate, I operate the way that I want to operate. Let's figure out a way to work together. But when it comes to success, by the definition alone, I am a success. I'm 27 years old, and I can retire tomorrow if I want to, and I choose to play a card game, to hang out with people, and to travel. And if this video gets uploaded, and anyone sees it before Atlanta, I will most likely be wearing a bright neon pink shirt. Just stop by if you see me there, if you're in the World Championship qualifier, and just say, "Sup, saw your video." That will mean more to me than anything else any person who watches this video could ever do. But like always, card fighters, I hope you enjoyed the brand, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you got to learn a little bit more about me and my ideas. Like always, rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.